Referred customers typically have a 25% higher lifetime value, LTV, and they have an 18% lower churn, while all of that is costing 5 times less to acquire.
Referral programs take time to build momentum. It's not something that happens overnight, so you really do need to focus on creating great experiences for your early advocates rather than just trying to scale too quickly.
The key is starting with your most satisfied customers and building systems that make advocacy rewarding and enjoyable rather than feeling like work. That's the key. Don't make it feel like work. Yo, Chase, what's good, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I was just couch shopping.
What for?
So I've been building this like add-on extension ADU thing at my house, and I've been looking and shopping for theater seats because I've always wanted theater seats in my house. You know, it's kind of like one of those dreams.
That's awesome. Yeah. Is the furniture on the way or what happened?
Yeah, dude. So it's been a weird experience. I started looking and I went immediately to what I know is the most expensive, fanciest brand. And then I was like, I had like that weird inkling because of social media. And I was like, let me go look at like Alibaba and see how much they charge you. And I ended up finding something that looks pretty much identical. So I was like, all right, let me reach out, go talk to them. While I was doing that, I went on YouTube and I started to research this brand, the brand that I wanted, the original brand. And in that, I ended up running into, which were probably influencers, I'm sure, because I didn't actually dig into it, but they started telling me about this alternative brand. And so I went and checked out the alternative brand and I started quoting that out, and they're running a cool little 25% off sale. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was looking at it. And then I got the quotes back from AliExpress or Alibaba, and the prices, because of shipping and tariffs and all that, weren't very different. And so I went back and forth, but here's the key, which I thought was really good. They called me, they emailed me, like personal PVP, like one person to one person kind of thing. And they called me, emailed me, and tried to convince me and answer any questions for me and so forth. And you know what? I really appreciated the service. The reviews were great. The influencers sold me ultimately.
Crazy.
I ended up buying accounts from these guys.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm curious what kind of volume they do.
I don't know either. I mean, they're on Shopify. That's all I know, but they're not cheap things. I think I spent like $2,700 on this thing, but I did save my dollars on different things. And now I'm sitting here on this pod telling you about it. And they even emailed me today about a rewards program. So it's a perfect topic for today.
That's great, man. Well, I'm excited to dive in further.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, let's go ahead and shoot this thing in 3, 2, 1.
From the open to the click, they're the masters of the flow. Just watch your list grow and your leads turn to go. Did we retain you so far, or do we have to extend it? If you want results, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Send It, where we discuss anything and everything retention marketing, specifically in email and SMS and e-commerce. My name is Jimmy Kim, and I'm here with my co-host,
Chase Diamond.
All right, Chase. All right, today's episode, kind of following up on that story, we're going to talk about referral and rewards programs. And the title today is Building a Referral and Rewards Program, Turning Subscribers into Advocates. And so we're going to dive into, I believe, one of the most powerful but underutilized strategies in e-commerce that's happening today. And it's happening quietly in the background often, like what I just did there. You're basically building referral and rewards programs that turn not just your email and SMS subscriber, but prospects and buyers and everybody into basically your brand advocates, right? Your existing subscribers are sitting on a gold mine for customer acquisition because people who like one thing usually are surrounded by people who like the same thing ultimately. But a lot of brands are leaving this one opportunity on the table. And as I think around and all the things that I kind of recommend to my friends, all for free right now, the reality is if it was a better reward program, I'd probably be more all about it. And the problem that I see in this market is most brands have no idea how to structure an effective referral and rewards program.
Yeah, dude, that's so spot on. We see brands spending thousands and thousands of dollars on Facebook ads to acquire new customers, while their happy subscribers would gladly refer friends and family, if only they had the right incentives and kind of systems and structure in place. So what's fascinating is referred customers typically have 25% higher lifetime value and 18% lower churn rates than customers acquired through paid advertising, while also costing 5 times less to acquire.
No, I believe that. Those are spot on that. I like back of the envelope math for me when I think about this stuff. So that's why today we're going to break down how to build referral and reward programs that actually work, how to integrate them with your email and SMS marketing and turn those subscribers into your most effective acquisition channel. Whether you're just starting out to think about your referrals or you have a program in place that's not performing, this episode we're going to give away the framework on how to build that advocacy. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right. So our first strategy focuses on designing like a core structure, an incentive program for your referral and reward program, because getting that foundation is right and determines everything else around the entire program.
Dude, I love this topic. I always tell my clients, program structure is crucial because you need to balance, attractive incentives with sustainable kind of unit and, business economics. So that way you create clear, compelling reasons for customers to participate and ultimately advocate for your brand.
No, you got it exactly. And an incentive design needs to like motivate both the referrer and the referee while simply being simple enough that your customers can easily explain it to their friends and their family ultimately. So when I think about the structure, I think about it in three ways here. So the first thing is it's a dual-sided incentive system that has to benefit both parties, right? The referrer rewards must be meaningful, while the referees has to have good incentives. That's going to be always a hard word to say. And these also have to have some layer of progressive rewards and some exclusive benefits as well, too. So that's number one. Then the second thing you've got to think about is the economic modeling, right? Can you make this a sustainable growth program for your business? So you got to calculate things like your lifetime value. Then you got to balance that with an immediate like ROI to long-term referral. And then how you have to consider it as a better channel or at least equal to your typical channels by looking at your CAC or your customer acquisition costs and so forth. And that in factors into, the engagement of retention and all that good stuff. And the last thing and the last part of this framework really comes down to simplicity, right? Ease of understanding. Is it clear? Is it straightforward? Is it simple? Does it give immediate reward? And is it easy to share, right? These are all things that you've got to think about.
Dude, yes, exactly. And what makes this structure super important is the fact that complexity kills the participation. Customers aren't going to refer if they can't easily understand, nor can they explain the benefits.
No, that's spot on. And the best referral programs are simple that customers can explain them in a single sentence while still being attractive enough to almost motivate, right? And, when I was looking up like the stats around referral and loyalty programs before the show, studies are showing that referral programs with dual-sided incentives, so you get both rewards, achieve 2.3 times higher than if it's just single-sided. So there is a very big motivation why you should be thinking about it. And if you think about like how you implement this, there's like two ways people implement these things. One, you have like this simple, successful structure, $25 for you, $25 for them, for example, or give 20, get 20, or free product after 3 referrals, or some VIP or early access after a certain level, right? So there's that structure of e-commerce. And then the other side to think about it is that tier system where tier 1, you get a $25 credit. Tier 2, you get, free shipping for life. And then tier 3, you get like points or you get t-shirts or swag or some other stuff, right? There's a lot of ways to approach this ultimately. And, one of the brands we love gives referrees increasing rewards. So your first one, you get $10. The second one, you get 15. The third, you get 25. And, ultimately creates momentum and encourages that multiple share ultimately.
Yeah, I love that because it recognizes that your best advocates should be rewarded more generously. And then it also creates this gamification element that drives continued ongoing participation.
Yeah, I'll end it with this thing. When I think about the key insight is that your program economics should improve as your customers refer more people since they're your most valuable advocates, right? It's like a sliding scale. It costs more to start and it should improve. And, often when I think about how you should get started with this, I recommend you start with a simple, attractive, dual-sided incentive. And then you add that complexity once you've proven a basic system to run. Don't go working on all of this. Just work on one part of it and get it to actually work before you go off there. And make sure you always test those different levels and structures. What works for one brand does not always work for another brand because of price points, psychology, and so much. I think I've beat that one down. Chase, you want to move to number 2?
Yeah, let's do it. I like the second one. Our second one focuses on, effectively integrating, your referral and your rewards program into your email and SMS marketing to be able to maximize participation and awareness.
Yeah, keyword I love there. Integration is crucial because your referral program is only as good as your customers' awareness to it. And email and SMS is really your most direct channels for educating and motivating those subscribers. Hey, it's Jimmy. Quick 15 seconds of your time because I have something fun to share. Did you know between the two of us, Chase and I, we have over 20 years of experience in email marketing? Recently, we put our minds together to create a certification program that takes all of our knowledge and share it to the world. It's called Ecom Email Certified. It's an end-to-end course certification program that's designed to take anyone, regardless if you're a newbie or an experienced marketer, founder, executive, agency marketer, or any marketing professional, to teach them everything we know about email marketing SMS. From deliverability to AI to copywriting to design to strategy, we cover it all. It's loaded with 175 modules and 25 hours of education combined with quizzes, community, all designed to educate, test, certify you to become a full-fledged email marketer for e-commerce. And so, since you're listening to this pod, we want to reward you with loyalty by giving you a coupon for $200 off this certification. Just jump over to ecomemailcertified.com, check the show notes, and now back to your pod.
Yeah, these channels allow you to target your most engaged customers first, since they're more likely to become active advocates and drive the highest quality referrals, for your brand or for your client's brand. So in terms of like the email and SMS integration framework, you kind of starting at the top, you're going to want to do a strategic program and introduction and educational campaign. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to launch sequences that explain the benefits of the program and kind of the mechanics of it, right? What are the details, what's involved, why should I care? And then with that, you're going to want to drip in things like educational content that's going to show customers exactly how they should refer and earn rewards. And then also sharing like success stories where you have real customer referral experiences that makes it feel real and tangible. And then also making sure that you address any kind of frequently asked questions and any objections people have. That's a great way to get anyone on the fence, over that hump so that way they can actually be active participants. And then in terms of like the ongoing promotion and participation reminders, I think this is where a lot of people fail. I think they build it and they think people are going to come and they just forget to remind people. So you need to include kind of a monthly program highlight email to make sure that existing people are always being reminded and new people are aware of it. And then allowing yourself to have kind of enough SMS reminders going out for those people who have expressed interest, whether they've opened or clicked, but they haven't yet participated or started referring. And then having things like seasonal and occasional based referral campaigns to gift giving is a great way to make it timely and relevant to everyone. And then making sure that people have achievement celebrations for customers reaching referral milestones is a big one as well. And then lastly, you're going to want to do kind of personalized outreach to high potential advocates. So, reaching out a little bit more manually to target kind of satisfied customers, people that have left good reviews, people that have spent a lot of money, reaching out to them kind of more in a one-to-one, more manual way is actually probably a good use of time. And creating really kind of exclusive advocate recruitment campaigns for these VIP customers that I'm alluding to. And then being able to kind of follow up with recent purchasers as well while they're really excited about all this is a great way to do it as well. And what makes this kind of email and SMS integration super effective is that you can segment and target customers who are most likely to become successful advocates.
Yeah. So what I've heard here, which is interesting, is so instead of promoting to everyone equally, you can focus on the customers that have demonstrated satisfaction and engagement with your brand.
Yes, that's exactly right. And here's a fun fact. So brands that are using this kind of targeted referral program through their email and SMS channels, they're seeing about 67% higher program participation rates compared to those that are leveraging kind of more passive promotion methods or frankly not promoting at all or not promoting enough. So in terms of integrating this, right? So what we recommend is you want to have a post-purchase referral program introduction. So what I mean is including information on this program that you're setting up and running in your order confirmation emails. People are going to open them, they're going to be engaged. That's a great way to alert people. And then also to make sure you send enough dedicated emails. So like a referral invitation, maybe a week, 2 weeks after someone actually receives the product. And then also creating kind of like satisfaction triggered referral campaigns for people that are happy. So if people leave like a positive review, for example, that's a great entry point into getting them into your referral program. And then in terms of like engagement-based program, so you also want to target customers who are regularly opening and clicking and sharing your emails or sharing your stuff, focusing on subscribers who engage with your brand content beyond just your promotional sends, your newsletters, kind of those types of emails. And then identifying customers who follow you also on social media. If people are on your list on email and SMS and follow you on social, that means they're really bought in. And you want to prioritize customers who have made multiple purchases or have a high AOV or high LTV. And one effective kind of tactic we've seen is sending these referral program invitations immediately after they leave positive reviews or providing feedback.
No, I think as I hear this, smart timing is what comes in because customers are always already in a positive mindset about a brand or probably just more likely to share that experience.
Yeah, exactly. And a skincare brand that we work with, they send SMS referral invitations to customers who rate their experience either 4 or 5 stars, and they're achieving about 45% higher participation rates. And the key is making this program kind of feel and the promotion of it really feel exclusive rather than just generic kind of blast and anyone and everyone can join. And when you provide these multiple touch points and reminders, it's super important because they want to see these notifications and these emails and this messaging often several times before they actually can take action.
No, I think you shared a lot there, and there's a lot of things to learn from that. So I highly recommend if you didn't pick it all up, re-listen to that part for those listeners out there. Let's move on to our third one. All right. So our third strategy includes amplifying your reward or referral program through social sharing and creating systems that make it almost easy and rewarding for customers to advocate for your brand publicly.
Yeah, you know how much I love social, almost as much as I love email, but not quite, but I still love social. And social amplification is powerful because it extends your referral program beyond direct kind of one-to-one sharing to more kind of public advocacy that can help influence entire social networks.
Yeah, you're right. And when customers share about your brand publicly, it creates a social proof and credibility that's much more powerful than the traditional advertising or even private referrals that are happening out there. I think social sharing right now is probably the Gen Z language, and even the even below and younger generations really love what social really has done out there in the market. And if you're building this kind of social sharing and advocacy framework, the things that I think about when we go through here is this, right? There's three things I think about: the social first referral mechanics and incentives. Like, how do you create good shareable content and or experiences that customers want to post, but also are happy and proud to post on them, right? And then how do you design these links and referrals that work well across social programs? And there's got to be a good bonus and all that stuff that comes along with it to build some kind of community features that encourage social engagement. There's a lot you got to think about, right? Yeah. So that's number one I think about. Then I think about the number two side of this thing is almost that UGC, the user generated content, and how that might work with referral rewards, right? People already love sharing their photos and experiences publicly. How can you reward them by simply adding a hashtag or alerting the brand or tagging the brand and creating some type of viral loop where the information is shared to you so that you can use it again and again over and over, and rewarding the user for doing that so that they do more of it, right? And the third thing I think about is how do you start taking that and integrating it across platform? So you can't just think about social media, but you got to think about how to bring that into email and SMS. How can you unify that campaign? Are you sharing something on social and then sharing it on email and SMS so you're talking about it in every channel? And then of course, even going down and saying, linking people back to your social and saying, hey, I share all my advocates right here on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And then also letting people know that you track and reward this across those different social platforms. So it's like you can share and use it while also inviting people to come join you at the same time. And, ultimately, as I kind of wrap this up, what makes social amplification particularly valuable is that it creates compounding effects. One customer's public advocacy can influence dozens of people right in their network.
That's right. And social sharing feels kind of more authentic and trustworthy, I'd say, for potential customers, more so than traditional advertising or even potentially kind of private referrals.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing this in so many markets. We operate together in the B2B market. We see the B2C market, right? The direct to consumer market also. They all have. And really, what it boils down to this, right? There's already a stat out there that says companies with like a good social integrated referral program see almost a 3.2 times higher reach per advocate and 40% higher conversion rates from a social referral traffic versus not having one, which is pretty wild if you think about how big of a lift that really is. In some ways that you incentivize these, and I know you're thinking right now, okay, we're talking about email, but let's talk about social a little bit. There's two ways that I think about. Number one would be kind of like a simple $25 for each successful referral, like very simple. Or you can do like get additional $10 credit for every public Instagram or Facebook post, or use a hashtag and get $5 of extra dollars if you use one of their branded hashtags or whatever. Or, there might even be something that like has a VIP. The people who share the most are going to get a VIP status where they'll get free shipping, whatever it might be. Something fun. Ultimately, how do you reward the activities that people are already doing out in the market? And the second one is obviously the UGC side, right? Share your transformation is a great one, like the before and after, styling changes, unboxing experiences, or even some type of community contest like share this or name this or give me a caption. I mean, there's so many ways to use and leverage giveaways or different versions of that sharing style for UGC to basically create noise and awareness around your market. We see it happen every day. In fact, I'm sure I participated one in the last day or two. It just happens. And when you think about it, this one fashion brand creates quarterly style challenges. That's a good example one where customers share like the outfits for the referral program bonuses and they generate thousands of pieces of UGC. That's a good one to think about.
Yeah, dude, that's brilliant because it combines both advocacy with the content creation. So it gives a brand both the referrals and the social proof content as a 2-in-1. Hey there, it's Chase, and I hope you're enjoying the pod so far. I want to quickly talk to you about one of our sponsors. And yes, sales tax, I know no one wants to hear this. However, if you are selling online, you're probably spending way too much time, money, and stress on something that needs to be automated. Enter Kintsugi. They're named after the Japanese art of turning broke pottery into something beautiful and resilient. And that's exactly what they do for your tax chaos. Their AI monitors, files, and optimizes your sales tax automatically across all states and jurisdictions. We're talking about saving you some serious time. Their average customer saves 9 hours every single month. That's over 100 hours a year that you're going to get back to focus on actually growing your business. And here's where it gets really good. No longer will you have to have expensive tax professionals that eat into your profits. Kintsugi's AI handles compliance with a 98.3% reduction in errors. That's practically bulletproof accuracy. And they have many one-click integrations with your existing systems. That means the setup is painless. And their white glove support team has your back every step of the way. Sales tax headaches? Consider them eliminated forever. And it's for e-commerce, SaaS, and even agencies. Really, anyone that pays a sales tax needs this, and they need Kintsugi. And we have a very, very special offer for you. So if you mention myself and Jimmy, you'll get 3 months completely free. That's 3 months of automated tax filing, perfect compliance, and getting your life back. Visit trykintsugi.com and mention Jimmy and myself for your 3-month head start.
Yeah, and when the customers participate, become a deeply engaged advocate who continues to share because they not only do they like referring you, but they like the attention that they're getting. And the key is making social advocacy feel fun and rewarding rather than like work or marketing for your brand. You've got to make it like you're doing it with them ultimately. And when I recommend this thing, I always tell people when they want to create, they've got to understand their clients and what their customers do and their natural sharing behaviors before asking them to change their habits. You want to give them a reason and to integrate it right into what they're doing.
Yeah, and providing high quality kind of shareable assets that makes customers look good when they advocate for your brand, that definitely
Yeah,
helps, right?
I like that one.
For sure. And the fourth strategy focuses on properly tracking referral program performance, attribution, and continuous kind of optimization to maximize ROI and program effectiveness. And I don't know if we could talk about it. We actually have something interesting here that we've been working on.
Yeah, no, I think tracking is so crucial for referral programs. And you're right. We have something that would be a part of this that you could use it for. And we'll just tease it there right now. And we'll talk about
Cool.
it as it gets closer. But the reality is you need to know and understand not only how many referrals you're getting, but the quality of those referrals, the clicks, the impact, and even more importantly, the true lifetime value of that impact.
Yeah, and proper attribution allows you to identify your most valuable advocates, helps you optimize your program mechanics, and really makes data-driven decisions about different incentive levels and promotional strategies. So in terms of like the attribution kind of tracking framework we're kind of talking about, you want to start with like a comprehensive referral performance measurement. So what I mean is you want to start tracking referral conversion rates. What is the percentage of people? How much are they spending, right? What's the average order value of this channel? And what's the quality of the customer? Are they one and done? Are they repeat buyers? Are they in the VIP category potential? What does that look like? And you're going to want to monitor kind of advocate engagement and retention alongside referral activity. You know, what's the quality of the people referring? They making a lot of noise but not getting a lot of bites. What does that look like? And then measuring kind of lifetime differences between referred and non-referred customers. Is this a channel that actually makes sense to invest to? It often is. For whatever reason, maybe for you it isn't, but more likely than not, it's going to be a great channel. But you just have to calculate kind of the true program ROI, including long-term customer value impacts. So that's the first part. And with this, you want to kind of understand it's a multi-touch attribution. And you want to look at that through the kind of customer journey analysis lens. So tracking kind of the complete path from different referral shares to customer purchase, identifying which promotional channels drove the highest quality referrals. What is the timeline in which these people actually go from referral to conversion? Is it on par with your other channels? Is it quicker? Is it slower? And then what's the drop off points? You got to understand and study the drop off points from when someone actually refers someone to ways in which you can optimize kind of that process and where are the opportunities to do such. And then you want to advocate kind of behavior analysis and segmentation. So essentially, what you're going to do is you want to identify characteristics of your most successful advocates, and then you want to track kind of the advocate retention and long-term engagement patterns. And then you have to segment that. Right now, you have that data. You segment these advocates by performance, and then do kind of tailored, specific, unique kind of rewards for those types of people, and then really understand like what motivates different types of customers to refer. And with all of this, right, like what makes tracking particularly important for these referral programs is that the customer journey is often longer and more complex than other acquisition channels.
No, I think you're nailing this side of tracking. A customer might receive a referral, visit your site, sign up for your emails, browse multiple items, and purchase weeks later. So you need a system that can help you track that entire journey the best you can.
Yeah, and the data shows that brands with kind of this comprehensive referral tracking systems are seeing, around 45% better program ROI and about 60% higher advocate retention rates compared to either no tracking or kind of just basic tracking approaches. So in terms of optimizing this, so you want to have like kind of performance-based program adjustments as you go. And you want to be always kind of A/B testing and optimizing all of this. So testing different incentive levels and reward structures. Optimizing and improving the landing pages and the conversion flows. A/B testing kind of the messaging for the invitation and the timing. When do you trigger those? When do those get sent? And as you go, just keep adjusting this so that way you can keep moving the needle on ensuring that this program actually drives a really strong brand lift and ROI lift. And then in terms of like the advocate experience, you want to optimize this in terms of like how do you streamline the sharing process to reduce friction? How do you improve reward delivery speed and the communication that you guys are doing? How do you create kind of better tracking and more visibility for these advocates so it's very transparent? And then enhancing kind of recognition and status for the top performers. People love that. And then the most important, or I guess one of the most important metrics to track is kind of advocate satisfaction and continued program participation over time.
No, I think that's crucial. I think it's because the most successful advocates should be staying engaged and referring more customers as they
Yes.
experience your brand longer at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. And a human goods brand, like kind of a home good brand, it's not a human good brand, a home good brand that we worked with, they discovered that advocates who receive rewards within 24 hours are 3 times more likely to make
Mm.
additional referrals. And the speed of reward delivery and clear communication about referral status are often more important than the size of the reward itself, which is kind of shocking, right? And we recommend kind of weekly performance reviews for these referral type programs, especially during your first 90 days when you're optimizing mechanics, kind of figuring out the messaging. There's just a lot of stuff to kind of fine tune.
No, that's great. I feel like you did a great job explaining why tracking is so important. So I'll move right to our fifth
Cool.
one and final strategy, which involves building community around your referral program and developing this like long-term advocacy relationship that goes beyond the simple transactional rewards that you might do on a typical reward program.
Yeah, it's clear through all the campaigns we've run, all the clients we've worked with, that community building is really what transforms a referral program from more of like a short-term focus, kind of short-term acquisition tactic into an ongoing sustainable growth channel and engine that's powered by people that actually care, right? These genuine brand advocates that are going to really prop your brand up.
Hey, okay, I'm disrupting the pod for just a quick 60-second break and a quick little shout out to our title sponsors of the podcast, OmniSend. Okay, for those that don't know, OmniSend is an all-in-one email and SMS marketing automation platform specifically designed for e-commerce brands. They make it super easy to engage with customers, drive repeat sales, and create those seamless personal experiences we're always talking about. Here's 3 things I love about OmniSend. First and foremost, they're trusted by over 125,000 e-commerce merchants worldwide that absolutely love them with a 4.8 rating star with over 6,000 reviews on the Shopify App Store. It's an obvious choice for your email, SMS, and push needs. Secondly, I love great customer support. And OmniSend, they're absolutely nailing it. They're responsive, their help docs are great, and their team is absolutely fantastic. And third, they have great features and better pricing. Pricing matters just as much as features. And OmniSend, you're going to get both of those. And they have all the features you need for your store, and their pricing is absolutely fantastic. In fact, recently I just heard a story about 2 community members that made the switch. One reduced his price from $8,500 to $3,500, which is huge, but even bigger, that $3,500 included SMS, which is absolutely wild. Then another agency I just recently talked to, they just switched their entire client base over, and he's been saving his clients anywhere from 30 to 60% off their bill, which is allowing them to take that money and reinvest it on the top of the funnel so they can make more ads and make more money. OmniSend nails these 3 things that I care most about: great support, great features, and fair pricing. Plus, I just helped Chase make the move to OmniSend with his own personal email list, and their migration was super easy. They even have a team to help you support you, and they have a great automated tool to bring your contacts right over. So if you're looking to take your email marketing to the next level, I highly recommend checking out OmniSend. They got the tools, the automation, the expertise to help your brands grow and thrive. Head over to omnisend.com/send it to learn more and start scaling your customer engagement today. Now let them know Chase and Jimmy sent you. Now let's get back to the pod. No, you're right. And a long-term advocate provides like compound value, they call it, right? They don't just refer once for reward. They become this ongoing ambassador who's constantly driving new customers. And all it does is really strengthen your brand reputation ultimately. And it really comes down to like a couple things when you think about how to build that community and what it really takes to build that long-term advocacy framework. You need to have a good recognition program and a status program, right? VIPs to tier 1 to silver. You need special programs ultimately that have exclusive access, events, brand experiences, or even like a leaderboard or achievement system to create a little bit of a friendly competition. The second thing you really got to think about is that community engagement and connection. How do you create an exclusive group of people that are going to talk about the same brand, product, or problem that they're going after? And even how do you get them to host advocate events or facilitate connections between your brand, your team, and your advocates? And then ultimately, the biggest key is there's got to be a platform for those advocates to like share this experience and tips, like a Facebook group, for example, or a Slack group, or it depends on where you're at, right? Some people are on TikTok or different places, but there's all these ways to ultimately create community. And really that leads to that like that long-term relationship development, right? That means that you, in order to create these great advocates, you've got to have ambassador programs really working with long-term people, right? I've seen a lot of these early direct-to-consumer brands out there have like crazy advocate programs, and they work really like, you can look at them as affiliate programs, reward programs, like Pura Vida bracelets, a great example of an OG company that really sold around that rewards and referral program, that influencers, but before they're even influencers, they were really referral and affiliates ultimately that were kind of going out there and providing business development. And the lesson you can learn from that, to me, is that what makes community building particularly powerful is that it creates emotional investment. And I think that's the key here. And it goes way beyond that financial incentive.
Yeah, that's right. When customers feel like valued members of a community, they advocate because they genuinely care about the brand's success, not just solely because they want rewards.
Yeah, and before the show, when I was preparing, I looked up a case study around what community-driven referral programs do versus non. It's like 85% higher retention and like two and a half more referrals per advocate is what comes into place, which is pretty huge. So you're probably wondering, okay, if we want to do a community program, what should we do? Well, this is what we've understood in the market. The best ones are running off of. Number one would be like an advocate status or kind of some kind of program that recognizes status or like a bronze, silver, gold status or a brand ambassador. Think like Mary Kay's pink car. Think like that, right? How do you create this thing? And then how do you throw like an annual appreciation event or get them spotlighted on newsletter or social media? That's number one. And the second thing that I think about is like, where do you go to get your community and what should you do, right? So you should start with probably a Facebook or Discord group. I know all the people are like, I don't even use Facebook. Well, communities love Facebook. And the reality is that's where a lot of them live out there. But there's also Discord for those younger generations too. That might include monthly calls with team members, founders, exclusive access to new products, even asking them for advocacy or feedback. I mean, these are things that you got to think about. And, one of the brands that we work with, they create an annual advocate summit where their top referrers get flown in for product previews and feedback loop strategy sessions with the leadership team, and they get to see and feel and experience the brand. And that's like one way that people want to be a part of that business ultimately.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. And what makes it incredible and really effective is it makes advocates feel like true partners in the business rather than just customers earning rewards.
Yeah, and those people I was talking about in the event become more passionate advocates because they have insider knowledge and personal connections with the humans and the brand at that point.
Yeah, I think the key insight is that most kind of valuable advocates want recognition and involvement more than they just want additional financial returns or kind of rewards.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'll add to this is we recommend building those advocacy like recognition programs into your regular like email and SMS. That's how it all ties in together. Not just during special campaigns ultimately.
Yeah, and when you do that too, create clear pathways for advocates to deepen their relationship with your brand based on their interests and engagement levels.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up because we went through 5 good ones here. Let's summarize these so that everyone knows how to do this thing.
Cool. Yeah, dude, let's do that. So, oh man, there's a
All right. Yeah, give me your best takeaway. What's your most important takeaway you took from this thing?
yeah, I was thinking as before you asked that, I was like, oh man, I know he's gonna ask me and I'm gonna have to fire something over. There's a lot. Um, I'd say I think the most important takeaway is that successful referral programs are really about building relationships with community, not just merely offering transactional rewards alone.
Yeah, that's spot on there, dude. The brands that see the biggest long-term impact are those that view referral programs as relationship building rather than like this acquisition tactic. Ultimately, they really want to build a long-lasting community and group of people, not just make that financial like engagement or transaction to happen. All right. So here's what I have notes from our thing as a key takeaways for people who are listening through this. So you can know, number one, structure and incentive matter a lot. Think about that first. 2, you got to make sure you got a good integration system, email, SMS, social media, all of those need to be really well engaged. 3, you've got to have a good social sharing and advocacy program to almost extend beyond just direct referrals because you want to get that one-to-many effect to happen. You need good tracking. That was a really important one. You got to understand where those dollars and cents are coming, where the best customers are coming from, because there is a thing called bad traffic and you want to make sure you get the best kind.
Yes.
Then we wrap that up with really that community building and long-term advocacy development. And, the idea is that it creates this great, sustainable, long-term growth engine that's beyond that transaction rewards and ultimately. And I'll leave you with this like one last stat. I think I found it. I didn't know where to plug it in, but referred customers typically have a 25% higher long-term lifetime value, LTV, and they have an 18% lower churn, while all of that is costing 5 times less to acquire. Now, that's a stat that I can stand behind.
Yeah, that's crazy. And remember that referral programs take time to build momentum. It's not something that happens overnight. So you really do need to focus on creating great experiences for your early advocates rather than just trying to scale too quickly.
Yeah, and I'll leave one last thing on. The key is starting with your most satisfied customers and building systems that make advocacy rewarding and enjoyable rather than feeling like work. That's the key. Don't make it feel like work.
Absolutely. And for those still listening and those just getting started, I'd recommend beginning with a simple kind of dual-sided incentive program and focusing on email integration before adding way too much complexity.
Yeah, and of course, I'll add one last thing here, and we'll wrap this thing up. But don't underestimate the power of personal recognition and community building. Many of those best advocates care more about the status and involvement than even the financial side. They just want to be recognized and they want to be a part of something.
That's right. And the brands that build success long term, in terms of this advocacy, are going to be those that treat their advocates as partners in growth rather than just customers earning discounts.
Yep, that's a great way to say it. And it's a great way to wrap this show up. Episode 47, building a referral and rewards program, turning those subscribers into advocates. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. And, if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and leave us a rating on your favorite podcast listening platform. We're YouTube first show. So anyone who's watching or hearing this somewhere else, we do recommend you come join us over on YouTube. But you can follow the show on X, LinkedIn, IG, TikTok, so many ways. There's a few ways to connect with us. First and foremost, we have a newsletter. If you haven't heard already, ecomemailmarketer.com. We throw the links in the show notes. Come join us. We send a daily retention marketing newsletter that you can come and learn. We do breakdown, case studies, exclusives. We talk about all things email. The second thing we have is a certification program. If you want to learn more from myself and Chase and you feel like we're giving you value and you want to learn 25 hours of us, well, we've got a great training program out there. It's a certification program. It's a one-time price and you can learn A to Z of email and SMS marketing in e-commerce. And last but not least, we are pretty active on social media. Chase, where can they find you on social?
Most platforms chase Noe and Diamond.
Yep. And you can find me on LinkedIn and X today. With that being said, Chase, that's a wrap for today's show.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. We'll see you on the next one, guys. See ya.
From the open to the click, they're the masters of the flow. Just watch your list grow and your leads turn to go. Did we retain you so far, or do we have to extend it? If you want results, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it. Yeah, you know you gotta send it.